Well, Wiseman is really what we strive for all of our Thunder football players to be. He's a student first, athlete second, but even more importantly than that, a great friend and teammate. He's very involved in the community and has done various community service activities, and on top of that, he's a leader in our Monday Bible studies here within our football program. So he's definitely one of a kind, and we're sure glad to have him in Thunder Blue.
I'm Wiseman Jordan Clark. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, and I'm a junior here at Tryon University. I am a linebacker for our Tryon University football team. As such, being a part of the football team has a great influence on campus because everything flows through football. First off, it has allowed me to start a Bible study for our football team to get other people to get closer to Christ and start really there. Then it's allowed me to do more fellowship with other people because everyone wants to come to a football game. And when people come there, they get more chances to talk to people, get about their life stories, and help them get closer to Christ. My sophomore year in high school, I was in the locker room and Coach Matt came up to me and said, "Hey, have you heard of Coach Mike's camp?" And I was like, "No," and I thought it was a football camp. So I thought I was just gonna go get better at football, come back and be a better football player, but no. So I went and talked to Mike, and he was telling me about this camp called Young Life and how they go out into the woods and they get close. They have fun activities, zip lining and water parks and games and basketball courts. And I was like, "Yeah, I want to go." And he was like, "But you can't have your phone." I was like, "I don't need my phone anyway. Who needs a phone?" So I went there expecting to do a lot more camp things, but it was so much more and somewhat what I needed.
So my name is Shatoya Ward, and I'm a school principal, and Wiseman is my son. He came to me one day and said, "Mom, I think I want to go to this camp." And I said, "Camp? What are you talking about?" And he said, "It's Young Life. You know, my coach told me about it and I'm really interested in it." And Wiseman is not usually interested in a whole lot. And so when he came to me, I knew that this is really something that was important to him. So I asked him, "How much does it cost?" And he was like, "Mom, you know what? I'm going to take care of it." And I was like, "How much does it cost?" And he's like, "It is a whole lot of money, but I think I really want to go. It's something I really want to do." And I said, "Okay, well, how much does it cost?" So he told me the cost, and I was like, "Oh my God, and you really want to go there?" He said, "Yes, okay." He said, "But Mom, I got it covered. I'm going to work, and I want to pay as much as I can so I can go." So when he said that, I just knew that this was something that he really wanted to do. And I was skeptical because my son don't usually go to like lone camps and things of the sort, but I was like, if it's something that he's really interested in, then I'll allow him to go.
And it was more talks about God and how to get closer to him and what he did for us. And I knew all that stuff, but it didn't really hit me as hard as it did when I got to camp. And then he talked about how we had campaigners every Tuesday afterwards. And I was like, I want to go, because if this is what I got just from going to camp, I wonder what I'll get from going to campaigners. And then that's how it all started.
So he went to the camp and it started something, but then he kept on going to the Bible studies each week without even me saying anything, because he was, one, hungry for Christ, but then he also was amongst people who also was hungry for Christ. And then they were able to take that word and make it relevant for their life, and they all was living that word daily. So I think Young Life is so important to our young people today, so that they can have somebody that will express the love of Christ in something that's relevant to their life.
I grew up in church a lot. I am a pastor's kid, and my grandparents are pastors, so church was not an option in my household. I always went to church, but I was always looking for something like for me, my own identity, and that's what Young Life helped with. It helped me find my identity in Christ and the pathway that kind of like helps me get to know him better, instead of just it coming from my dad or it coming from my grandparents. It spoke to me personally. I think it directly prepared me for college, because now that I'm here and I'm talking to a lot of people, having different cultures come in and have different people talking to my ears and telling me what I should do this and I should do that, but it just helped me like realize, hey, you don't have to do that for approval of people. Like, it doesn't matter what people think of you. It only matters what God thinks of you. And if God likes you for you, then Why does it really matter what other people think? It's become a lot easier for me to do things that God has told me to do. It's been a lot easier to lead the Bible study that I lead for the football team, or to talk to people. And I built my own relationship, and then that young life has helped me build that relationship with him.
You know, sometimes you got to hear from someone else for you to be able to take hold of it. And so I was excited because he is finally taking hold of his calling, and he's finally taking hold of his ministry, and he's starting his own journey in the love of Christ.
I just want to say thank you for those who've volunteered or cooked meals or given financially to Young Life, because then that has opened the doors for people like me to come in and know the Christ more intimately, and to have a better life with them, and to grow and to help other people get that life that they've always wanted. Yeah.